Well, hey guys. Hey, Wendy R. It's nice to see you in here, babe. Hey, Robin Miners. Oh no. Did they do it again? Why does this look different again? Mods, is it just me? Did YouTube change? No, they didn't change the names again. Hey, Charcoal Ninja. Hey, Cliff Ann. But it has the at sign now in front of your names like it did before. Yeah, like, no, it did do it again because she's Pook. Dawn changed her name to Pook, and now it's at Dawn Puka Vista with an underscore. Fantastic. Good. I'm glad I'm going to have to memorize all this again. Hey, Barbara Waite. Yeah, Barbara Waite used to be Barbara Waite, and now it's 53.95. Wendy R is 1776. Yep, I thought that was the case. Hey, Gemini girl. God, that sucks. Yep, Rain Virus 23. Christine Miller, Nancy Stitchin made alive. I love Nancy Stitchin. It's always an honor to have you in here, babe. Thank you for being here. Hey, Susie with an S, Marie Marion, Liz Tricks, Armine. Thank you. Hey, Honey Lou, Baby Lily Pad, Buffy made it. Alicia made it. Nancy Tyler Hess. Yeah, it did it again. Yep. Diana H is no longer Diana H. She's back to Rainy Day. Fantastic. I get to relearn everybody's names again. I wonder why it did that. There's Jessamine, because I recognize the photo, but she says Wandering Mongoose on her name. Hey, Yawn. I don't know, Christine Miller, what happened to our names. Silver Lining, welcome in. Now the problem is this, like Silver Lining may be somebody I know, but I've never seen him before. Christine Miller doesn't really ring a bell, but the picture kind of does. Kay Thompson. Chris Crafts and Coffee. Okay, that's why. That's why I recognize you. There's Erica. I know her. Joanne Hawley. Charcoal Ninja's the same. Thanks, Rain. I don't want to wash my hair the color out yet. Hey, Little Mink. So I've been trying to like, instead of just putting on a hat, I'm trying to get creative. Thank you, Wendy R. Hey, Joe Virus. It just says Joe Virus. Lucky you. There's Lady O. My name changed on Johnny's Can't Fix It, KLGG56. Like, I know you guys. There's Angel K. Yes, I will, Angel K. Angel's treasure chest now. Thanks, Wendy. YouTube screws up roll call. We'll tell you more about that tonight at 11. First time in the chat, but watch your live streams for a very long time. Thank you for being here, Medis. Thank you. Wow. Please speak up more if you're so inclined. I love seeing people come into the chat like Helena, Buffy. Some of those people were really lurkers and now they're chatters. So thank you for saying something. We appreciate you. Island Hippie Girl. Of course I know who you are. There's Abigail. Lydia Krause. Glad to be here after a sad, crappy day. Sorry, I don't want to demonetize myself yet. I'm sorry that you had a horrible day, babe. We're here for you. I'm sorry again for the loss of your friend, and I love you, Lydia. It's really rough, girl. Thank you for the super chat. That was very kind. Dawn Davies is here. Andy. No, it's not about that, but that's actually a really cute picture, Andy. That's a really good thought. But no more animals. Hey, Margie Barr. Barbara Waite. So boring. My name never changes. Meredith Lynn. Angie Moe. Kim. That's Kim Leaf, but now it says Kim's Whims. I'm pretty good, guys. YouTube really can't toss me around like this. I'm pretty good with recognizing things by the photos. I have a memory like that. I've got words. Mostly a lurker, but been around since the beginning. Silver Lining. I love that. And welcome into the chat, my friend. Hey, Jamie Palmer. Yep, Kim Leaf. I knew it. Oh, why did it do this? Hey, Just Joan. Denise LaFond. I know you, girl, but you do lurk. Thank you for being here, Denise. Hey, whine a little bit more. My name is Danish, but good efforts. I'm just happy to see you in the chat, my Danish friend. We have another person actually from Denmark, if that's where you are. Martin. Martin's from Denmark. Also, I want to send you a big hug. Your last stream. I love you. I support you. Wendy, thank you. I actually kind of want to talk about that today, and thank you. I appreciate that very much. It's very meaningful. Hey, Miss Sassafras. Um, we there's a reason. There's a reason that we're digging this stuff up. There's a reason that it's coming up right now. And I don't know what that is. It's making me miserable, to be quite honest. I feel very miserable is the word, talking about this stuff. But I also believe that there's something going on to where I need to push through it. I need to obviously talk about it. And it's shaking some things loose that are making me think in a different perspective than what I always had thought. Last night's stream, hey, Tammy helped me put some things together. Taking away all the blame certainly helped, but putting some, I have earrings on, right? Okay, yeah, it scared me. I don't have my ear cuff on and I feel naked. Hey, Kay Thompson, it's helping me to put some things together for the first time and look at it from like a different, just a different perspective. I gotta say, you and Tommy are hysterical on former Colts and Crims. Just Joan, last night was pretty silly. We didn't have a topic really, and I mean, we did in the beginning, and then it just went into the weeds. And those are my favorite streams with him. He's a good co-host for that reason because he's fast on his feet, and so am I. Thank you for that. Yes, Wendy R. Journal about it. Last night's stream was rough. Yeah, Chris Crafts and Coffee. It was. Oh, wow, you got a gifted membership yesterday. That was probably Abigail. Donna Cooper, I think, gifted some memberships yesterday, if I recall. So it was probably one of those, or Baby Steps. But I think yesterday was Abigail and Donna Cooper, if I recall. I did. I needed the silliness last night, Pat Jonas. It did help. But we're back to it now. And if you guys are okay with it, I just have some things I still feel like I need to unpack, and it's fresh. And I have to, because I'm not in a good place. Mentally, I'm really, really, really not in a good place. Like this kind of stuff has taken up, I think, more room in my life than I realized, if that makes sense. Kind of like hey, Holly, like I said yesterday about Doug, he looms over me, even though he's not around anymore. It's like he still has all this power that I didn't realize. He still has some weird form of control. And hey, Renee B. Hey, Lumen. I'm glad to see you tonight, Lumen. And I think you guys can understand that. I think we've all experienced probably like a bully type, masculine, just gross, hey, baby steps, like overpowering. Jeff was like that. For some reason, I don't feel like Jeff is still looming over me. I forget about Jeff most of the time. Unless we bring him up, I'm like, oh yeah, I just don't think about him. And that's good. I've kind of cleansed that out of my life. It's the best because I don't think I could handle Jeff and Doug. Like, Debbie Zito, welcome in, babe. It's hard. I'm sure it's hard to break away from that grooming. You are still digesting and processing for sure. Thank you, Angel. It's okay. It's why you talk about it. Take out the trash. I like that, Robin. It's rotten. And so Wendy makes like, I feel like dirty. I feel weepy. I feel sad. I have like, not a headache, but I feel this like solidity. It's like solid. My head actually feels heavier than it normally is. Like I got to get out of this. I don't know when my next therapy session is, but I wish that I had one. Yeah, this is my verbal journaling right here, Pat Jonas. And I need you guys to see me through it. I kind of thought yesterday, I felt much better. But I also, hey, Linda Garden Lady, thank you. There's Donna Cooper. Hey, babe. I also felt like I know this is going to take more than one stream. I just knew that. I am stuttering because this is bothering me so much. Intuitively, I knew that was going to take more than one stream. If you ran in, thank you, Shelly. If you ran into him, would you tell him what a piece of shit he is? Or was? Let's see. That's a great question. You guys asked me, like, what would you say if you ran into your father? I know what I would say to him. If I ran into Doug, it would be a really bad time for me to run into Doug because I think I would cower and cry and I would be intimidated and nervous. It's not my style to go up to someone and be like, you. I don't confront people like that. I don't do that with people in my life when they mess up. I don't do it with predators. I probably should, but I don't have the strength. I don't have the guts. So no, I would not tell him what a piece of shit he was. He is, but I don't know that I would stand in front of him and do that. I wouldn't be like physically afraid. I would just feel small. I don't know how else to put it. I feel small discussing this stuff with you right now. I feel afraid. I feel like I'm going to get in trouble. I, to this moment, feel intimidated. I feel frightened. And we've got to lift that. We've got to stop that. I don't know how to stop that, but I think continuing to talk through it versus just shutting down and being quiet, that's going to make things worse if I just cut it off and leave it alone. I think I have to give this attention because it's taking up so much space for me and it's rattled something. It's shaken something loose to where it's like even worse. I think I see the bigger picture here. And to go from somebody being like, come here, let me love you, let me take care of you, and then find out that they are a true to the core evil predator, like pure destruction, destroyed the deepest, the relationship between a mother and her child is like the worst thing I can think of. Does he? No, Just Joan, he does not. Maybe he discuss. I don't know if he does that. And I hope he gets himself free from the bad memories. Thank you, Joan. I don't think that he does. Twyla says, I've seen enough to know Doug is a dark force. He stole motherhood from you. Pray for him to leave. Same as Satan. Yes. It is interesting if you think about it. I'm not trying to get weird. Hey, Linda. It is interesting that last week I was having all that. Hey, Carrie Brown, I recognize your photo, but I can't think of that's Crafty Carrie. Never mind. Don't even tell me. I knew it. That's Crafty Carrie. I can tell by her picture. Look at me memorizing photos. Try to throw me off, YouTube. See what happens. Hey, Timark, you are unwrapping a rotten onion of trauma. Let me love you, but don't ever question me. Okay, Jamie Palmer, what was I just going to say? Damn, I was on something and then I got distracted. Shit. Hey, Kestrel, that sucks. I can't remember what I was just saying. Maybe someone can remind me. Oh, yeah. I got it. Dreams. Yeah. Thank you, Pat Jonas. Charcoal Ninja, I couldn't tell you the answer to that. It's a good question, but I don't know. So isn't it interesting? I feel like I have a cat hair stuck right there on my face. Did I get it? Isn't it interesting that last week, thanks, Honey Lou, I was not able to sleep and I continued to have all these dreams, like evil to the core dreams. Hey, Wendy Brewer, I'm not saying the two are connected. I really don't know that kind of cosmic stuff. I don't know much about that. I just think it's a little bit interesting. I do think it's interesting that those things were entering into my mind. And I have a friend. So I had a dream last week that a Russian guy, of all people, kidnapped Juniper, hey, daughter of the king, and kidnapped her. And it was in current times. Like the whole channel was freaking out. We were all upset. And I saw him. It was like in a movie scene. He was holding up a treat. The woman who stole her brought her into this house where he was and set her on a table to walk. He was at the end of the table sitting. And she set her on a table and she was so nervous. She was like shaking, walking toward this table. And this guy was going, holding this treat, and he was speaking in Russian. And she was so scared. I could see in this dream, like, how I'm going to cry through this, how she was like, where is my mom? Like, she was terrified. And it flashed to black. I couldn't see anymore once she got closer to the treat, but I could hear. It was like a movie, like taking, hey, Roll Tide, like taking out, so you don't see it, but you hear the scene and how brutal it is. And he killed her, but like tortured her, killed her. Like she was screaming. And we all know an animal screaming is like the worst sound ever anyway. It's such a like a baby screaming, like an infant, or an animal screaming. For me, I'm like, oh God, it's like you want to help. And was it the next day, I think, or 2 days later, um I was asleep in real time, and I woke up, and when I mean in real time, like everything was how it is. It wasn't in the past, it wasn't in the future. And I woke up at like 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I don't remember what time it was now, but where Bo sleeps next to me was a woman sitting on the edge of my bed staring at me like 2 or 3 feet away from me. She was a large, like a big woman, and she was all woman, but her face, she had regular human eyes, but she had a pig snout. Like she looked like a pig. It was like a pig face, swine looking. And it was terrifying. Like I was sweating. I was like, what is that? And I woke up in the dark in the same room, and I was like, oh my God. And I was, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So then I finally, after calming myself down, drifted back off. And I woke up like an hour or two later, and I told you guys this. I sleep with my phone either right next to me, like by my pillow, or I sleep with it on the nightstand. And that night I had it next to me. I think I was looking at it, and then I finally started to drift off and set it next to me. And I woke up and my phone was blaring, and it went, zoom. You're as cold as ice. That song came on by Foreigner. It just started blasting in the middle of the night. It was like 4 in the morning. And I shot up out of my bed and I was like, what the? And I had to hit pause. And I was like, okay, I'm not going back to bed. And I was angry at that point. I was like, whatever is going on, like I started looking crazy. I was talking to the air in the room, and I was like, whoever or whatever is happening, like, needs to get out of my space, get out. Like, this isn't going to work for me. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not taking the bait. Get out of my space, get out of my head, get out of my room. Um, I think I might have a nightmare over your nightmares. Sounds symbolical. What a horrible nightmare. It's like manifesting the pig thing, evil. Okay, so the pig thing. Hey, Eric. Thank you, Wendy. That dream must have been a DMSO. I don't know what that is. Terrifying. Maybe if you write it down, burn the paper. So I haven't had really any bad dreams since, except the other night when I dreamt I was dating Travis Kelce, and I was like, when are these bad dreams going to go away? I don't date laundry bags full of meat. You are small, but you have outgrown your old self. I believe you have grown into a great, strong woman and mother, and you refuse to put up with any man's shit. Very proud of you. That's a fact, Cliff Han. Yeah. Thank you for saying that. Hey, Chow Yun Smut, we'll have fun tonight with your friend. So my friend and I were talking about this dream, particularly the pig dream on the phone. I know, I wish Kim is blue. And she starts going down like the Google rabbit hole, and she's talking to me, and she's like, that can symbolize a lot of things. And one of the things was, of course, evil, right? No question. I feel like I have a cat hair stuck on me. And then that's okay, Abigail. Thank you for being here. And then she said that Google was saying it can symbolize, and this was interesting, that we're going to talk about this. It can, that the pig thing can symbolize self-doubt. And when she read that, which again, I don't get into all this. I don't know what it means, but I could relate in that moment. She said that often can mean, when you dream of something like that, you're doubting yourself. Did I make a note about it actually? Let me just double check. I've got 1,000 notes. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah. Okay. Let me read Abigail's thing so it doesn't get lost. And she's leaving. The Lord is faithful. He will strengthen you and guard you from the evil one. I love that. May the Lord of peace himself give you his peace at all times in every situation. The Lord will be with you all. New Testament. Abigail, I'm going to accept that into my heart right here, right now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your super chat. I hope you have a good evening. And thank you for that scripture. I needed that one. That was a really good one. Thank you. So my friend said some notes and I started writing because that's what I do. And it said, not real power. It can indicate not real power, but fear was designed to protect you. So you're having these dreams and it's like fear that was designed to protect you. And I wrote, the subconscious is symbolizing something. Nothing to be afraid of. But I could see the protection of putting fear in on ourselves, especially if we are experiencing self-doubt. And I have to be honest, this whole Michael thing and Doug thing that I've been discussing, thank you, Abigail. It's okay. You enjoyed tonight. Doug destroyed one person you loved, damaged you, and almost got Huxley. He took from you the essence of your intended motherhood for years. That is a great tool for Satan. Doug and Satan have no power over you now. Thank you, baby steps. That's important. It's something I need to hear. And I think it helps when you guys, Bohemian Luciferian Witch, we are. Hey, Catherine B. I need to hear this. So if you guys don't mind, like kind of saying things along these lines, and if I miss your chat, it's because I'm in the middle of something heavy that I'm talking about. But thank you, Baby Steps, for saying that. Thank you for the super chat, but you're right. And I think this is why I feel very shaken by this subject. And for all I know, we were saying last night, Brenda is just as much a co-conspirator in this. Brenda is like, I'm so sorry, Judy Lee. Geez, Tymark had to put her dog down yesterday. Judy Lee, I'm really sorry. It's horrible. You're in a good place to tell us all that. Everybody here loves animals and has pretty much been through that. Never gets easier, my friend. I'm sorry. Hey, Vicky. Hey, DNV. It's hard because some people feel bad about Brenda. I do not. I have worked through that, and I feel that Brenda is just as guilty in this situation. And someone equated her yesterday, hey, Joyce Drager, to Ghislaine Maxwell. And I'm sorry, but that feels right. That feels right. She absolutely allowed this crap to happen. And here's the problem. Like, they're still, okay. Oh, that was the other thing. She's still doing it, right? No one's stopping Doug. And somebody left a comment last night on my stream after it was over. And it was a beautiful comment. And I wish somebody would have asked me on the live, but hey, April, but I'm glad they did. I'm going to bring it up now. Whoever said this, it was genius. They said, yeah, Chow Yun Smut. Did anybody ever write Doug up? Because Scientology is all about the snitch culture. What a genius question. Did anybody ever? Hey, Anna Banana, I hope that your grandson is better today. Brenda has to take accountability for her part in everything. Being weak can only be an excuse for so long. Correct. What a great question. Did anybody ever write a report on Doug? Oh, he went home from the hospital today. That's great news. Wow. I knew he's a fighter. That kid is strong. He really got well quickly. Yes, DNV for sure. What a great question. Did anybody ever write Doug up? The answer is no. Of course not. They did the opposite. They protected him, right? They protected him. There you go. Yes, Lumen for sure. Just Jones says Doug contributed tons of money. Do you really think they would punish him? Don't think so. And then that got me thinking more. Somebody, I think Renee B asked this once. Raymond asked this too once a long time ago. And I always said no. Um, hey Mimi, are women considered like more inferior in Scientology to men? I still say no to that. There isn't like a hierarchy like that. It's an individual. So yes, but it's individual. And here's why I say that. Yeah, it was a great question, Margie Barr. Here's why I say that. I knew very wealthy single women who had built their own empires. They were self-made and they were single in Scientology. OT8, badass women, right? Nobody pushed them around. So the answer is no. Women are not like thought of less in Scientology. But yes, if you're less, meaning you don't have the money to fork over, to go into debt, to go up the bridge and donate to all the different weird, the Way to Happiness Foundation and all their, everything else, all their weird little spinoff stuff. Hey, Katie did it. So, yes, the answer is yes. Brenda and I were definitely looked down upon by Doug. And Doug was the patriarch, money making, breadwinner. Same with my father. So that got me thinking today. I was like, my dad was the same way. Now, I think too, think about Dan O'Connor. I believe that these three men that I just named, Doug, Gene Wally, and Dan O'Connor. Hey, Melissa, thank you. Those three men in particular, I could tell you right now, they think less of women, no matter what. Women are inferior to them. They are the top of the totem pole, those three men. I've seen Dan in action, right? I've seen Doug in action, and I have sure seen Gene. Well, definitely Jeff. Yes, Kim is blue, but I'm talking in Scientology, under the Scientology umbrella. Jeff, definitely. That's a whole other set of cellist strings. Back the bus up. Now, who is this? I recognize your picture, but I don't know your real name. YouTube switched you guys back to your old names or weird names. So yeah, Kim is blue. You make a great point. The point is, I couldn't say. It would be interesting to ask another ex-Scientologist their viewpoint on this. Donna Lane. Hi, Donna Lane. Welcome in, babe. Hey, Lisa Vining. Hugs, you will get there, says Baby Steps. There is something between mother and child that is so sacred. Doug messed with that sacred thing. It is pure evil, and he is pure evil. You live in the light now. Put the blame where it belongs. See, okay. She's right. And thank you again, Baby Steps. You really hit that home too. So you are saying something that original Anne said after the stream ended last night. I hit end stream and you guys still keep talking. Today, Time Mark, you guys still keep talking and I can see the chat moving, but I ended the stream. So I was sitting here and I was answering a text and I was turning off my light. I looked up and Anne said something and I couldn't respond because I was done. But it made me think of this. She said, give it a name. Give it a name. And I that got me thinking too. And it made me think of this. Put the blame where it belongs. That's essentially giving it a name. Like, give it the attention it deserves. Stop shying away from it and going like, I wish I wouldn't have, I shouldn't have, I have all these regrets, I should have known better. Like, let's just name it. Let's call it for what it is. Baby Steps, that's very important. And I need to remember what you just said there. And he destroyed that. And that's got nothing to do with me. It doesn't have anything to do with me. He was evil. Like, let's just call it. He was evil. Like, there was no fighting that. And sometimes you can't fight evil. Sometimes, of course, we hope you win. Of course, we hope evil gets defeated. But like, I was defeated in that time in my life. There was no going up against him. Going back, I couldn't have, there's nothing. And thank you for your super chat, Baby Steps. There's nothing I could have done different. So I also need to accept that there's nothing I could have done. Hey, Viggy, to have changed the situation. Hey, Gogo the Greek, do you understand? Like, that's important for me. And I hope it helps somebody else that has gone through something really traumatic. because I think we as humans tend to do this, like, for me anyway, I do this accountability thing, checklist. And I'm like, you guys will say something like, Reese, there's nothing you could have done. And I'm like, scanning. And I'm like, well, hold on. I found one thing. I could have done this. It's like I purposely am trying to work against myself. I also don't want to be like, you're right. Poor me. No, but it's just, this is the facts. It's like you guys said yesterday. These are just facts. You were surrounded by vultures. Not sure if you said you being Linda. I don't want to say her name because it's gonna. Hey, Heather, Doug the Russian, and Brenda the thief. Wait, you? I don't understand, Pat. What does this mean? You being her, Doug the Russian. Oh, ooh. Damn. Whoa. Are you guys following what she just said? In those dreams, I am Juniper, Doug is the Russian, and Brenda was the thief who took her. Who's the pig? Who's the swine? Donna, it's hard because I was talking about it in the beginning. That is Chow Yun Smut says, and that's deep AF. Oh man, Pat Jonas always brings it. Yeah, I mean, I see it. Ooh, look at that too. Look what time it is. 4:44. It's 4:44. That's crazy. That's crazy that she said that. I cognited and looked at my phone and it's 4:44. Guys, we're surrounded by angels right now. Nobody freak out. It's intense. That's intense. Wendy Brewer, thank you for saying that. That is a great analogy. Wow. Here's the thing too. I'm going to ask you, who remembers this? Who is with me then? There's quite a few of you that were with me way back when. I had a dream and it just jogged my memory of it, and I'm probably going to get it wrong, but I have it loosely. I have a loose idea of it. I lived in Kansas City and it was right when I was outed. Okay. And I lived in Kansas City and I had this dream that I was like in a swamp in Florida and it was really messed up. Dan O'Connor was in the dream and I was standing in this swamp and there were alligators all coming in on me. Now, I love alligators. I always have, but not in this scenario. It was kind of freaky. I had this dream that there were alligators closing in on me. And my dad came hanging down off of a tree branch, like above me. I was like in this swamp area. And my dad was like on a tree branch. And he said, I'm pretty sure it was my dad. I don't think it was Dan O'Connor. And I looked up and I heard my dad's voice. And he said, nobody is coming to save you. You know that, right? And I was like, that was the end. Like, you're getting eaten by alligators. Nobody's going to help you. That was crazy. And it's just as crazy as what you just said. Reese, after last night's stream, I was really thinking about you and all you have been through. Most people only go through one of the things you have. I really hope you see your strength. Stella, I appreciate that, but I don't know that to be true. I feel like everybody goes through, and I appreciate you, babe. I love you, but I also am like, whenever I talk about something like this, I'm like, this is how it all started. This is how it all started. I was sitting in the nook off of my kitchen one day back in Kansas City, and I was a Scientologist, and Michelle and I were on the phone. It was one morning, and I'm in my robe, and she's telling me something, and I start telling her about when I was a kid. And she's my longest friend. I've known her since I was 19. She doesn't know anything. I've never shared Scientology stuff with her. And hey, Rhonda McNeil, she goes, Reese, that's not normal. She was talking about me being left alone for so long when my dad would leave. And I was like, yeah, it is. And she was like, it's not. And I was like, yes, it is. Like, I was trying to like make it right. And she was like, no, everybody has like trauma, but like some things are very unusual, like that. like most kids weren't left alone at 7, like for a week at a time with nobody in the house. Like that's unusual. And anyway, that's how she got me to watch the Aftermath show with Mike and Leah. That's how yes, I've always diminished my own trauma. And there's no race here. It's not like I'm trying to say I got more than you. Excuse me, my trauma's bigger than yours. Pardon me, coming through. Sorry, I'm better than you. Excuse me. You've always diminished your own trauma. Yes, we all have our own traumas, and it's not a contest, but what you've gone through is different from others. Yeah, I always brush that off when people say that. I think I can't accept it. Like it makes me want to cry talking about right now, Cricket. I'm like, yeah, it is. Like Cricket's been through that too. I think I try to normalize it because I'm like, I don't want to be the only one. I don't want to stand out with my trauma. I want to have regular trauma. I want the normal trauma, damn it. I don't want this kind of stuff. Like if it's not normal, then that's a bummer because it also, so here's a whole new thing that opened up a can of worms for me last night and into today. And I'm really mopey about it. And I realized this on my own. It was some cognition that I had overnight. Marie, where? Everybody's names are different now. Maybe the pig is Scientology, Marie Marion. That's a great point. And that's spot on. Reese, remember that even Doug trying to take Hux from you he is with you. He chose to stay with his mom. That means the bond wasn't. Well, the other thing we have to remember is Doug up and left, dudes. Doug's gone on his own volition, right? Like Doug was like, I'll call you again. We'll work this out. He vanished. And that's a God thing. I feel like God stepped in there and was like, you're out, predator. You're finally out. I mean, all of this is a God thing. Me reaching out to the Aftermath, me being outed, me meeting all these people, me meeting Tommy, all of this is divine, right? I have no doubt it's divine, aligned, and right on time. All of this. Scientology, getting over drugs, not having your mom, your dad, your in-laws. Are you serious? You're an inspiration. Stella, I love you, and I'm so happy that you're here. And I realize how late it is where you are right now. It's an honor that you're here with me. I would say that about Armine, but Armine doesn't ever sleep. She's secretly Superwoman. You're not the only one, but you're strong. Thank you. Thank you. I think dreams help give a picture to what we're going through. Pat is so right. The past dream could have been you seeing for yourself that you have to search within you for the rescue. That's true too. Doug dipped. Do you remember what Huxley said? Who did he say that to? He said Doug moved to China. Oh my God. He said that to his dentist in Kansas City, like last summer. The dentist, the pediatric dentist that Huxley sees was like, hey, how's your grandpa? Don't you see him all the time? And Doug was like, or Huxley was like, no, he moved to China. I was like, what? Lydia Krause is still up too. I was like, Huxley, you couldn't think of anything else? He moved to Florida, perhaps? China? He moved to China. That kid. It's a total blessing. Renee B, the disconnection is a total blessing. Whatever it may be, it's not good. It's not good. You are transforming and shedding the cocoon you were put in. Yes. So here's the problem though, that like really makes me worry. This is like we got a whole new set of problems now that I'm like, wow. Here's the issue too, that this is also like all kinds of things are cracking open for me right now. And it's terrifying. And that's probably why I'm having these dreams. It's scary. I don't want to even do a stream. I feel a lot of self-doubt about myself right now. I'm like, I'm not going to win, like just in life. I'm not going to succeed, whatever that means. I'm like, I lost my friends. I'm not going to be able to afford to move to Ecuador. I pretty much am like, I'm giving up. I'm giving up. That's how I feel right now. Now it's not real. It's irrational. And I'm aware of that, but there's like something inside me that's like punching me down. Like you're a loser. And that's how I feel right now. And I think to add to that, I went to bed last night. I woke up and I thought more about it today. And I didn't talk to anybody about this, but yeah, Kim is blue. The other thing that really scared my soul, like soul checked me this morning was this. Listen up. Is it possible that I've been thinking a lot lately at how Scientology like goes into the innermost, like the brain of like the most vulnerable place and like starts picking everything apart. You pulled this in and you don't have, you're not a mother to your child, all these things. I started thinking about it and I started thinking about how I fell for the Doug thing. Like I thought it was help and it ended up being harm, right? And then I started thinking, we don't, meaning Scientologists, don't attack, we don't fully connect with people. I'm pretty sure that I can't connect. I try, and I think I get like 70% of the way there, but I don't think I fully know how to connect. And then I was like, does that affect like me being in love? Have I ever really been all in love? Like, do I really, really love? And that's a hard thing to admit, by the way. Hey, Rachel, it's a tough thing to admit here live on YouTube. But the reason I ask that is this. The second things get weird, I'm ready to go. The second I feel doubt about anything, including myself, I'm like, I'm out. I don't want to be a part of this anymore. Whether it be a marriage, a job, myself. Like I definitely can't hang. I gotta go. And that is frightening to me because it's like they rewired people. It's like they disconnected the wires and like plugged this in here and plugged that in there. And it's like, I feel like I'm wired wrong. Like, I don't. Are you saying that you don't think you can love unconditionally? I don't know if that's it. I'm saying that the moment I start to feel any kind of doubt, I get red flags going off, going unsafe, unsafe, get out. It's no longer safe. Like the second I start feeling doubt about something, including me, I start thinking I no longer feel safe here. I got to get out of here and I got to get out now. Like time's ticking. I got to go. I got to get out. Like that's how I feel. I start to feel like the water's rising and I'm like I got to go. It's like a really panicked feeling. What do you mean, Lisa? Baby steps. Some of us told you Satan would come to attack. Yes, you did. But God is using this for good. He is using it to help you process the damage, grow, and move forward. I forgot about that. That's a great point. You're right, baby steps. And that's what I mean. I'm pushing forward. I'm aware. It's like, I feel like I'm sinking, but I am hearing a voice going, you're not. It's not real. Like just keep pushing forward. Go through it. Go through this. You can't stop now. Like go through it. Thank you for your super chat. And that's a great message. Hey, Lionheart, but the more doubt you feel, the more you're like, you don't want to run toward it anymore. You want to run away from it. For me, that's the case. The more I start to like question something, I'm like, I gotta back up. I can't. Like, it's strange. How can we help you learn to trust yourself? I don't know, because they taught me at such a young age not to. They validated and rewarded me to go past my own boundaries and my own emotions, to ignore my own boundaries and emotions. At a very young age, I was taught to do that. Moving to Ecuador will be hard, but if you overcame everything that happened to you in Scientology and life, I know for a fact you can do this and overcome any obstacle that comes your way. Thank you, Wendy. I do too. It sounds like a possible attachment disorder. I believe you can work through that. So Crafty Carrie, my therapist told me that. I begged him to diagnose me because do you remember all those people in the past that were like, Reese has bipolar, or Reese has split personality, or whatever that was, something personality. And so I went to my therapist and I was like, and I was autistic. Remember, he was like, you're autistic. So I was like, I don't know what any of these things mean. I'm an ex-Scientologist. Maybe they're right. I just don't know what they mean. So I went to my therapist and he was like, you are not, you don't have any of those things. And I was like, well, what do I have? And he was like, I don't want to diagnose. I don't want to do that. It doesn't matter. He's like, let's just do the work. And I said, yeah, but if you had to, like if you were on the stand and you had to testify. And he was like, okay. And he said he goes, I would diagnose with some sort of an attachment disorder. So you're spot on there. It's so true. We normalize our own trauma because that's what we saw as normal. Your fight, fawn, freeze instinct is turned up to 11 all the damn time. That's PTSI. I don't know what PTSI means, but yes, I would agree with that. It is turned up all the time. My nervous system is very nervous a lot. You were never shown that people are trustworthy. For that reason, you probably don't allow yourself to go 100% with anyone as you grow. It's so true. Alicia, I don't allow myself to go 100% with me. Yes, trauma does rewire the brain, but the brain can rewire. It's happening now for you. And Baby Steps is right. That's what I mean. She's right on time and on track with like, keep going. You will win. You will come out pure at the end of this and understand it all and be able to look at it and zoom out. But right now I feel like I'm too zoomed in and I'm stuck in it. And I'm like, I feel like I'm in a snow globe or a fishbowl. I'm like, I just want out. I don't want to do this work. I don't want to do the work anymore. That's how I feel. I'm like, it's too hard. It's too heavy. I feel like little bits were coming at me and I could handle those loads. And this is a big one. The Doug thing is extreme source of trauma for me. Like, and I've never looked at it till yesterday. I've never fully went there on purpose, intentionally. I'm not allowed myself to go there until yesterday. Baby Steps, thank you for that super chat. It's so true. I mean, I wouldn't move for cute anyone in my mind. Moving to Ecuador is a big deal. That's a lot of love. It's a good sign to me. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a trauma response, wanting to escape before you really get hurt. Yes. Oh, totally. Hey, Katie Smith. Hey, Jill Turner. The only way out is through. Yes. Hey, Lacey Silver. Borderline personality. Yeah. A bunch of haters were like, Reese has borderline personality. I was like, maybe I do. Like, what is that? And my therapist was like, you do not. Nancy says it's such a major accomplishment that you can even put a finger on it. You can absolutely work through this. You're a rock star. I love that Nancy's here. I just really, there's certain people that make me feel supported very much. And you're one of them, Nancy. Thank you. You always leave the nicest comments on my channel. You can rewire your brain by treating yourself like you would a person you love and talking about and with yourself. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, that's so true. Like, talking, like, don't tear yourself down. I'm working on that. I'm trying to work through that. Reese says, Debbie, you have come so far in trusting yourself, also trusting others, see as your worth, holding on to. 3 years ago, you'd run with the first sign of conflict. Debbie's right. But for some reason, Debbie, we're coming up on the 3-year mark. And it's like, I feel like I'm backpedaling. I feel like I was making all this progress and now I feel nervous and small again. And like just that panicky feeling. Liz, your panic response is natural. You have worked so hard to avoid Scientology that anything that triggers you makes you pull back and want to run. Yes, exactly. You and Baby Steps are spot on with that. What do I do about it? Thank you for your super chat. It's been proven that trauma causes actual injury. You can see it in brain scans. So the name has changed from, oh my God, that's terrifying. Well, that makes me want to relieve myself of it even more. Hey, Panda. Renee, when you've been raised in a stressful environment, adrenaline rushes in with anything stressful as an adult too. Yes. So I get that, like flee, like freeze. I get that way very much. And I feel it right now. I feel, even just talking about Doug, it's like I feel like he's in my vicinity. It's a weird feeling. Do you realize how much your brain has already changed and opened up? That's true. Original Reese would have never thought through the problems with Tommy and figured out what to change. Joan, thank you for these are the reminders I need, Joan. Thank you. Give yourself grace and remember you're doing hard work. Healing isn't linear. I never understood what the word linear meant. Peter, he's very excited about going to Ecuador. Vicky, Vicky C, you have had a lot happen in the last couple of months. Reconnecting with your sister, finding out your dad is sick and your baby boy turned 16, not a baby anymore. Total turmoil. That's a good point. But that's all normal life stuff, isn't it? You've only been out 38 years of learning to be detached. Yeah. Maybe you're just more aware. That's a good point. Probably 3 years compared to the amount of time you spent in the cult. Give yourself grace, Reese. It takes so much time. Did something in particular bring Doug back? Yes, that stream I did the day before Huxley's birthday, I think, or Huxley's birthday. Was it Huxley's birthday? It was one of those days. Hey, Ruth Anna. And I started going down the path of Michael, and it just broke a bunch of shit open for me. And I started thinking about it, and I couldn't sleep that night. I was thinking about all the damage that they did to him, and Doug and Brenda. So then I went down the damage they did to me, and I started to think about motherhood and how he really took that from me. And I've never looked at it from that point of view because I don't want to look at it. I don't think I'm a very good mom. And I think that stems back to when I was pregnant with him. I wanted him so bad, I got pregnant. I wanted to get pregnant. He was not an accident. I was like, I want to do all these things, and I'm so excited. And I had a great pregnancy, and I was so excited. And then I feel like Doug just took that from me, and it's never been the same since. I gave up. A part of me gave up on it. And that's why now I say motherhood isn't my strong suit. I feel like I kind of went apathetic, and I was like, I can't get it back. It was taken from me. Thank you, Erica. Oh my God, that's cute. Chris H. I'm going to diagnose you as being chronically cute and normal. What a little baby angel you are. That's adorable. Wendy, you are the warmest person. I hate it when you get upset on live. I want to be happy. And what's best for Huxley? Thank you, Wendy. It's just, it's what we do. Somebody left a horrible comment after our channel last night on Colts and Crims. It was hilarious. First of all, it's so funny when people hate watch us, but they love Tommy. They clearly had the hots for Tommy. They left a bunch of comments about what a piece of shit I am and how hot Tommy is. And I was like, okay. But this one of them, they said, they were like, everybody give Tommy grace. He actually, it was so funny. I laughed so hard when I saw it. He actually does the work and researches stuff to do content. And she put, Reese just talks about herself. I was like, spot on, girl. Heidi was her name. I was like, spot on, Heidi. You're probably the chillest. No, I was like, yeah, that's true. I mean, in simpler terms, yeah, Reese just talks about herself. I never said I don't. That's kind of what we do here. I came from somewhere where we got to unpack this shit, Heidi. So Heidi, Constance, don't be Heidi and don't be a Constance. Reese, but it was so funny. It was like, Tommy's so great. We love Tommy because he does all these things to research and he actually does the work and he's a good content creator. And she's like, and Reese just talks about herself. I was like, yeah, she's got a point. Hey, aspire to inspire. Baby steps. There is something called anniversary reactions to trauma. I am familiar with this because of my daughter. A month or two before or at the anniversary date, emotions can be brutal. I remember, didn't you tell me this last year, Baby Steps? Or was it a year before that? Somebody told me that. I totally forgot about it till you just said it. That's a true thing. Someone brought that up to me. And thank you for your super chat. It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. We're coming up on it a month from now. A month and 10 days, 11 days. You're not backpedaling, you're fine tuning. We all see the difference in you over the years. You've come a long way in a short time. Alicia, thank you. Doug is an ever-present dark cloud for now. It can be changed. And you are confronting your demons. The end of this struggle will be worth it. Inner peace. That's a great point. You're growing and it can be painful. This is completely normal, unfortunately. Yeah, Holly, you're right. Guys, you're right. I needed to hear this. This is good. Joanne, I think now that you opened up Pandora's box of all that trauma, it's flooding out of you and making you question yourself on things that were out of your control. That's a smart point. You are a good mother. I believe in you. It's flooding out of you and making you question yourself on things that were out of your control, which is causing self-doubt now. Think about that for a minute. I bet we all do that. Think about that. Everybody can resonate with that right there. That is powerful, Joanne. Think about something in your past that you feel guilty about, but you really had no control over. You couldn't have changed it, but you feel bad about it. Moving forward, that could cause you to kick into a self-doubt. Joanne, that was really good, girl. That was powerful. Thank you for the super chat, but that was really I'm like swimming through self-doubt right now. What is with this? I wish I had some kind of a clip. There, that's better. I wish that I had thought of that. That ties in with the dreams. Self-doubt. She's not wrong. All this stuff I'm thinking about are things that I couldn't control, that I'm plopping in front of me right now going, why couldn't you control it? You should have controlled it. How'd you pull that in? All those things. Tommy and I were talking 2 days ago, and I burst into tears because I was talking about my friendships that I lost. And I said, he goes, well, it needed to happen. And I said, I know, but how do I pull that shit in? And he was like, don't do that to yourself. You don't do that. Like, how did I pull that in? And I said, but it's true. How did I pull in people like that? How did I pull in Jeff? Like, clearly I'm doing something wrong, but I am self-doubting hardcore right now. Okay. All right. Let's original and this right now. Let's name it. Let's name it. You are in the middle of a self-doubt storm, and nobody's going to be able to help you except you. Thank you, Donna Cooper. Shutting down is a survival skill, baby steps, clearly, because I'm doing it right now. And thank you for your super chat. I think I'm really behind. Nope, I'm okay. You've spent the first year making mistakes, the second year learning from those mistakes, and now you're actually able to process this stuff. This is absolutely a self-help channel. You help others through all of your experiences. Reese, a lot of us identify with you. I know. Hey, Martin. It's true. I know. Hey, Starlina, this person was trying to be mean by saying Reese just talks about herself. Of course I talk about myself. Like, that's what we've been doing on this channel since it started. But thanks for pointing that out, jackass. Don't be like Heidi. Maybe they all pulled you in. Think about it like this. Maybe they all pulled you in. Maybe you were their victim. Martin, I didn't sleep great. I slept great till about 4:30 in the morning. That's what I've been doing lately. I go to bed at about midnight or 1, and I wake up at 4:30 or 5. I wish I didn't. I hate it. I don't want to be up at that time. This might be a manifestation of grief. Feeling the loss of time, friendship, etc. Regrets are just a form of grief as well. This might be a manifestation of grief. Interesting. Martin, we've talked about some really interesting stuff in this stream. Well, you know what, Katie Smith, it's an interesting thing that you say there, because in Scientology, we're not allowed to experience grief. It's a big deal. That's why they pulled me in so quickly to have me do a loss of a person assist on Fred. Hey, Linda Perales, because you need to take out the charge of the loss immediately so you can move on. They do not want you feeling sadness. Thank you, Chris H. Talking about your trauma has helped all of us heal a little bit more from ours. Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. I don't feel like this channel is like me. Like, that's the whole point of this channel, is the audience is the guest every day. I come on, I bring something up, and then what does that do? It snowballs into people going, oh my God, I needed to hear this. Oh my God, I just started a job and I needed to hear this because it really ties in. Or, oh my God, I have this problem with my mother too. It works like a charm every time. I get thousands, literally, of messages and emails of people going, that stream helped me so much. It's an inspirational channel. We go through trauma. We talk about that stuff. We're unpacking and healing from getting outed and exposed from Scientology. Of course, we're going to talk about that stuff. Get a fucking life, Heidi. And until you do, don't come back, girl. The devil is the author of confusion. Just tell him, sorry, I live in the light. Like, now, that's true too. I am feeling extremely confused right now. There's a reason for that. This is actually coming together. There's a reason those dreams happened. There's a reason that I experienced and felt that around Huxley's birthday and went into the whole. I even said that night when I went into the whole Michael thing. I was like, I did not expect to talk about this. I didn't think that was going to come up. And we've talked about him before, but for some reason it rattled something loose that night and it hasn't been the same since. And this is a good thing. We need to see it as a good thing. Time Mark says, my opinion, God allowed these people in your life so you can be where you are right now, spiritually, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Yeah, I think that's probably very true. Regrets are just a form of grief. Thank you, Donna. You didn't pull that in. If they had been asses from the start, you wouldn't have been friends. As you grew and set boundaries, you weeded out those people. That's true too, Debbie. You make a good point. They were not that way when the friendship started. They got weird toward the end of the friendship, and I had to say, this is getting weird, and they didn't like that. So Debbie, thank you for saying that. It's validating. Thank you, Wendy R. Scientology doesn't want you to feel anything. Right. That's so cute, Diana H. Exactly, Holly. Even if you did talk about yourself, it's your channel. Exactly. Heidi is a turd that won't blush. It is a really good thing. Lisa Kelson, I love the look in your eye when everything starts to click into place for you. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Lisa Kelson. That's a nice thing to say. Well, we have a lot to work through with this. Those people sound like my first husband. Yeah, all of us have one of those husbands. Once you stop feeding their addiction, they go away. I'd say most of them have, Shelley. I don't think we have really much trouble at all with trolls or jealous people anymore because it's old news. Most people who loved attacking me, making fun of me, laughing at me, all those things, it's because it was newer. And now it's just old news. I'm here. They know I'm not going anywhere. It's the same shit. I don't have any new drama for them. Like, I think most people are kind of like, Reese, oh yeah, been there, done that. We don't care. Find somebody new to feed on. Get some new blood. Some people just don't want you to change. That's a great point. That is such a good point. They want you to stay needy. They want you to need them for survival. Your growing lessens their hold on your emotions. My God, that is such a good point. How many people resonate with that? Because I do. Yeah, that's a big one for me. And it's stopping me in my tracks, Joan, because I'm seeing every day, one thing that's like an unstoppable force for me right now is I'm seeing how much I don't need anybody. And that is such a big deal for me because my go-to was I need a man. I need financial help. I need just like companionship. I need stability. I need validation. I need your approval. I need your opinion on this so I can make a decision. What does this group of people say so that I can feel right about it? And I am amazingly like, it's unstoppable. Every day I get this message stronger and stronger of like, I don't need anybody. And it's definitely a good thing, but it's also it's kind of frightening because it makes me withdraw. The more I start to think, holy shit, I actually never needed anybody. I never needed anyone. All along, it was me. Like, I didn't ever need this or that to make me happy or that pair of shoes. We all know that too. Like, I have bought so many things since I was 19 years old to cope, right? Like, I attach emotions to my things and now I have all this shit around me. And I'm like, I don't need this anymore either. I don't need this. This doesn't validate me anymore. I validate me. But it frightens me a little bit because it makes me take a step back and go, I don't want to be around disingenuous fucking people. And sometimes I feel like I think about my friendships that I lost. and how much they were like, I love you so much. We'll be friends forever. And then I get a scathing email of like, you're evil. You have a dark heart. Jesus said that you're evil. And your dad was probably a good guy, but you're just a horrible child. And you're still a Scientologist. Like, to go from like, why can't we just break up normally? Why do people have to be so fucking ugly? Hey, West Coast Fancy Nancy. So now I'm in that boat and I'm like, well, I don't know, but I don't want to find out anymore. Therefore, like, I don't want any more friends in my life. I don't want, um, that's not healthy either, is my point. I start to feel myself withdrawing. An unhealed person does not want you to heal. They want you to stay broken so they can continue to control you. Time mark 100%. That was Jeff 100%. It sounds like you were their bad habit. They were addicted to manipulating. Absolutely, Honey Lou. And now I also firmly believe people like that can smell that on people like me. I was weak in that I would not say, hey, you're not going to get away with that. What, back to the old, you teach people how to treat you. I believe that 100%. How, I don't even feel that sorry for people like me. If you're mistreated over and over and over, it's like, but you never said anything. You never stood up for yourself. You never said, hey, that's not going to fly. Hey, you can't talk to me like that. I never did that. I never once did that with these people, with anybody. So it's like, you taught them how to treat you. How am I supposed to even feel bad about that? You got to learn your lesson there and stop being a fucking punching bag, right? So now that I feel that way, I don't think I attract those people anymore. I think they can smell on me that I'm going to say, oh, no, 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 no. See, I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need anybody. I don't need, like, I want to provide everything I need. And then I feel like the right people will come into my life. Right? Like, I don't need, I can make this thing go by itself. There's a difference between need and want. You may not need those people, but you keep those you want to be around. Yes. And it goes back to the, like, I don't allow people to have access to me nearly as much as I used to, but it goes both ways. I don't want access to a lot of people either. I don't want access. Like, don't involve me. I say this a lot. I'm out of the loop intentionally. It's not because I want to be in the loop. I'm out of the loop. I don't want to be in the loop. If I don't hang out with you anymore, if I don't know you that well, if I knew you in the past, but I don't know you now, I don't follow. I don't care. I don't want to know the interworkings of your life. I'm out of the loop intentionally. Like, leave me there. Standing on your own is huge. Means your personal feelings of safety have grown. Katie Smith, that's such a good point. Yes, I make myself feel safe. And thank you for your super chat. And I think too, Katie, that that's eventually the recipe for disaster that happens is you get let down by enough people or stabbed in the back or someone says one thing and they do another. I think eventually you pull back, zoom out and go, you know what? This whole people thing seems to not be turning out. People are so flaky. People are such flakes. And I'm not standing on a high horse looking down on you guys saying that. I've been a flake too, repeatedly. But I don't want to be a flake. I also will be a flake if I continue down a path of like, yeah, no, that sounds good. And like not give my actual thoughts. Don't be afraid to use your voice, because if you don't do that, people will walk all over you and you will be a flake. Like, stand up, shout it out. That doesn't work for me. So let's find something that works for both of us. Like, I never used to say things like that. And now I'm like, actually, no. And that makes you less of a flake, I think, when you don't just go along with it and just people please and set you on fire to keep them warm. Taking a step back can be a very good thing. Just go forward with the things you want. Also, withdrawing to heal is a natural thing. Yeah, that's true. Hey, Don Clark. Thank you, baby steps. That's true. I think they smell the wounded animal, but I grew up hunting. Yeah. That makes me think of that really cool meme I saw that said, throw me to the wolves. I'll come back wearing a fur coat. I love that. But no one learned to stand up for yourself either. Yeah, we didn't learn to stand up for ourselves. Hey, Robin Miners, this is hard. Didn't Doug and Brenda take Huxley a lot so you could be a good little Scientologist working toward keep talking it out and going, yes, they did. Oh, yeah. They also paid for everything on my account. Like they would not only take him, and thank you for your super chat. Hey, Sherry Taylor, they would take him and they would go, hey, we just bought you some auditing hours so you can go in session. Take yourself in session and we'll take Huxley. They did it all the time, especially because Michael refused to do anything on the bridge. And I was more than happy to do stuff on the bridge. So they were only paying for one of us because he wouldn't do anything. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. That's fine. Like I continued to do my SRD, my survival rundown. I continued to do all of my my int rundown stuff. I continued to do my ethics programs and repair programs, all those things. Michael refused. So they were just shelling out money for me to go do that. And they were like, and we'll take Huxley and you go in session. See, going in session is one of the, like, if I'm trying to think in the real world, if you were to say something like, I have a good idea. I have thought. If you were to say to some woman, some mother, here's $3,000, go have a spa weekend, go do, like, here's $10,000, whatever it is, like a huge drop of money, and go, here, go pamper yourself, girl, fly to Thailand. I don't know, whatever you do. That's the equivalent in Scientology to saying, here's some auditing hours, go in session. Go in session. It's like orgasmic for Scientologists to be like, I'm going in session. It's like carrying a Louis Vuitton bag if you're Robin Miners, who bought that for her birthday, and we're proud of her. Go in session. That's what it is. And they did that to me all the time. Doug and Brenda used your trauma and you're wanting a family against you, Reese. It's not you bringing it on yourself. So true. Liz Tricks, nothing wrong with pulling back and getting things sorted internally before stepping out in the world, again, on your terms. I did. It was the best thing I've done. You did. And that's a good point. There is nothing wrong with it. So why am I making it seem like there's something wrong with it? Liz, thank you. And I'm glad you did. And thank you for your super chat. I've put some relationships on hold. I'm trying to think about how to move forward. I've known these friends since childhood, and I think I need to be more clear about my boundaries. I love that you're doing that. It makes me feel more normal. Can you give your fear to God? I'm getting better at that, but I don't think I'm really good at it. I hope you know how much I appreciate you, Reese. You and this whole community mean so much. Thank you, Lisa Kelson. Yeah, Robin Miners is amazing. It was her birthday and she treated herself. And that's what a Scientologist would do, but it would be session, going in session. Oh, Vicky C, God has been protecting your heart until he knew you were strong enough to deal with these feelings. That's a good point. He will never give you more than you can handle, and he is always here to comfort you. Vicky C, I really believe that first part. God has been protecting your heart until he knew you were strong enough to deal with these feelings. I do agree with that and believe that strongly. The only thing I ask of people now is don't lie to me. Great point. Yes. Don't say it if you don't mean it. Don't offer anything you aren't willing to give. Don't pretend to be who you think I want you to be. That is so good. Yeah, Robin Miners is amazing because she supported them too. I appreciate her. I appreciate everybody who, I think I might try to go there this weekend. I think I'd like to run over there. I appreciate you guys who support small. Kathy Burkhart, speaking of birthdays, today is Kathy Burkhart's birthday. I saw that on Facebook. Happy birthday to you, babe. And Joan, you are spot on here. Yeah, they marked it down for her and didn't charge her shipping, and she lives in Canada, you guys. They're amazing. That story is amazing. Thank you, Robin Miners. Sorry, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but thank you for supporting small. What's wrong with stepping away? Sometimes you have to for your own peace. I had to do it with family. Nothing. But I seem to be wanting to find things wrong with every little thing I'm doing, which goes back to, Mark, the self-doubt. I am doubting myself, and I don't know why. Why am I doing that? Yeah, I'm glad you did, Robin Miners. She's a classy broad, Robin Miners. I don't feel like in the last year or more, and you guys can speak to this, tell me, I don't feel like I've been doing a lot of self-doubt. I feel like I've been doing a lot of self-work, right? Like giving myself a little more grace. And right now, for whatever reason, I have this looming, you're a failure feeling, like you're not going to make it. You're not going to be able to afford to move to Ecuador. You're not going to be able to fly your animals there. That's a pipe dream, right? Like that's not actually going to happen. You're not going to do well on your channel anymore. Like people are going to leave. You're like it's just weird. It's like I have these like bad voices coming in of like you're failing. You're failing. And I'm smart enough and I'm well self-aware enough that I see it, I hear it, and I know it's irrational and it's not real. But it's like a death by a thousand paper cuts. I feel like it's just constant. And I'm like, get off, like get out. I don't like this. It's awful. I've ended some toxic manipulative friendships. It hurt and I miss them sometimes, but it was for the betterment of myself. You can't drag that baggage around. Yes, that's so true. Yeah. I'm heading to Southern Goods maybe this weekend. I need a jean jacket. Oh, she has a ton of them. She has a ton of them. Because you were raised to apologize for existing and not fitting into a small box as a free personality. Love you, Chow Yun Smut. Thank you. I just want to say, Cricket, thanks for being here lately. You really bring it. You bring a lot of wisdom, and I've missed you, and I'm just really happy to see you. If I wake up at 1 a.m, I will come to your stream. I just haven't been up at that time. Been going to bed at about midnight. You're good enough, you're smart, and doggone it, people like you, says Rain. Thank you, Rain. You're pretty damn cute yourself, Rain. I still want to know where it's coming from. Wendy says you are doubting because it's new and unknown territory, perhaps. Don't let others' negativity creep in. Yeah, I've missed Cricket. Carrie says that negative self-talk is the worst. We all do it, but you're recognizing it and can reframe it. Baby steps. You're right, Carrie. Baby steps says that is demons whispering in your ear. Just put them in their place in Jesus' name. I like that. Liz Tricks, you are being attacked to knock you off your path. Like Baby Steps said. It feels that way. I have to be honest, it feels that way. Where is our resident Reese pep talker, Tommy? You need a session with him, apparently. You know, I don't know where Tommy is today. He said he was going to run errands with his brother, and I never spoke to him again. I don't know. But that's a good point, Ty Mark. And Hux is getting older. But Kim is blue. It's bigger than that. This Doug thing really, really took me down. Really took me down. I'm having a hard time with it. I'm struggling with it. And here's the other reason I'm struggling with it. I don't want to get too weird about this. I don't want to trigger anyone or get too into things I don't know for sure, because I don't like to speak to things that I don't know. But yeah, Panda says, do you think it's because you have been delving into your Scientology past now? Yeah, I do, Panda. I think it was delving specifically into the Michael thing the other day. Panda, I think that had a lot to do with it. But here's the thing, and I don't want to go too deep into this. We all know, right? I don't like the idea. It feels very unsettling and worrisome for me that I don't know what went on entirely there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Bye, Katie Smith. I can't be 100% sure with that. Bo is dreaming. When you can't resolve an issue with the person involved, it's much harder to let it go. Yes. Yeah, Kim is blue. So like I can't resolve that in my mind. Oh no, am I buffering? Hey, Hope Between the Dreams. I love it when you come into a stream. Welcome in, babe. I hope you're doing good. Am I buffering? Yeah, time mark. Baby steps. I know you do. Okay, Yadira says no. Okay, Kim says no. Okay. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Hey, Lori Lee, do you understand what I'm saying? I also feel that's okay. I feel very like that is some demonic stuff also. And I can't say for sure. I'm talking about like the showering and the sleeping with and all of that. I feel very unsettled about that. And I can't sit here and say like that went on or it didn't go on. I don't know. I don't think so. I've had discussions about it, but it's the kind of shit that keeps me up at night. Like, I'm like, I'm having a hard time. Like, what if I'm wrong? What if something like, do you remember the, when he thought he got off the phone with me in the car and he was like, I'm not going to tell your mom. Don't worry. I won't tell your mom. Like, either way, it's weird behavior. And I feel like left out of that. I feel very like it's also looms over me. I think that's part of it. I think that's a huge part of it right there, that he takes up so much rent in my head because I wasn't well, there's my babe. Got a text. I'll be happy to talk to you about this for hours. I will not do it live. I love you, honey, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, sounds good. Love you too. I think that it's the Doug test. This is how you learn to deal with the last line of control. Doubt is a part of you trying to find your road in this new life. I felt doubt all day. Yeah, Martin, I think that's probably true. It is, but yeah, Buffy, it is. That's why maybe it's for the best that it ended with him. Oh, for sure. No, Angel K, not at all. And that's why I don't bring it up with him anymore. Um, I have tried to ask about this for a couple of years now when the timing is appropriate. And every time it's a no. I believe that he would have told you. Here's the thing. Just Googling that stuff, Joan. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't. If you think about it for a minute, there's a lot of shame attached to any form of abuse as a child, whether it be sexual abuse or physical abuse in some other way. Abuse is abuse, right? Verbal abuse. There's a lot of shame tied with that. No, Debbie. I agree. Lori Ellingson, it's the best 444, not an angel. I don't know what that means. It's super weird. Why does Doug want to have children so close to him? I don't get that. Yeah, I don't. And you have to understand, as his mother, the person who's supposed to protect him and who was supposed to protect him, that's extremely unsettling for me. That in between of I don't know. All I know is what I know, and all I know is what I've asked, and what I've asked, I've get answers like no. And I also think this, guys, here's the other weird thing. Someone said this to me today. Do you think there's a chance? Thank you, Sandra Woodard. This is getting dark and weird, but do you think I didn't know Doug's father. I know nothing about him. Do you think there's a chance that perhaps there was some abuse there? And do you think that, don't you think, my other thing is, don't you think that Michael would have said something to me about that if he were abused? I don't like having these conversations because I don't know. And I'm not trying to imply like this happened. I'm sure of it. I don't know. I have no idea. Like, I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know if it happened. I don't know if it didn't. I think it's a healthy conversation to have because it does make me, it prompts me, right? It prompts me to go, But yes, I think there's a chance that Michael, if he were abused by anybody, not Doug, not just somebody, there's a chance that he wouldn't tell me because there's a lot of shame attached to that. Right? Like, people don't want to just openly talk about that. And people might not want to openly talk about that with their wives or their moms, right? Like, maybe I wasn't the person to share that with. I kept my mouth locked up like Fort Knox about my abuser. Yeah, men share those stories less than women. Yep. Sue Herman, that's so true. He has a therapist now, and that's the reason I'm happy that he has a therapist now. And that's the reason I also made it very clear when he got a therapist, in front of the therapist and then separate from the therapist. I said to Huxley, I said, You need to understand that whatever you communicate with this guy is between you and him. I'm never going to ask the guy what you guys talk about. And I'm never going to ask you. If you want to share something with me, I'll listen, but I will never prompt you. I'll never try to pry. I don't want to know. It's a very private thing, and you are free to share and safe to share there. And he can't share it with anybody else. I had a text that said it's 444. She needs an angel. I didn't know what it meant. Popped in, got around. Oh, okay. I love you too. That makes more sense. Okay. Um, it's possible, but I can see him not saying anything about it, especially men. There's a ton of shame associated. Yes, April. And again, guys, Kestrel, I don't know that I did. I don't know that I did. I don't think I needed to, because Brenda said to me, Doug slept with our boys until they were 12. So I already had my answer on that. It could be that they repressed the memory for sure. Here's the thing, guys. I know this much. He was a creeper. He was predatorial. That doesn't mean sexually. Let's just be real. I mean, he was an absolute by Kim. He was a weirdo. He was abusive of me. He took him away from me. He didn't follow my guidelines as a mother. He didn't follow the rules. He was very, I got it. I know what to do. He took over my child, right? Like I was the vessel and he took over. So I hate these little hairs. I'm trying to think, maybe I could tuck them into my necklace. I wish I had a bobby pin. There. I just don't like that. It's like bushing out over here. Hey, Ghost Rider. Reese, you had no choice in him taking over your son. It was grooming him. He was grooming him. I'm just saying there's a difference between being a creep and like actually being physically a creep, actually taking that next step of doing something. And I have no idea if that happened. And it makes me uncomfortable as his mother. I don't have to know that per se with Michael. Michael can offload that with a therapist, and I would hate it if that happened. But like, I care more about Huxley, obviously, right? And if that did happen, I wouldn't be able to live with myself about that. And so it makes me, it's an unknown. You see what I'm saying? It's an unknown for me. And I think that's another reason I'm doubting myself. And I got to be honest, I think that's one of the reasons I think a lot like I wasn't a good mother, because I didn't do a whole lot to stop that. I don't feel like if you ask me right now, could you have stopped it? No. That was a brutal force. There was no stopping that. Doug was a force all on himself, but he had Scientology behind him. There was no way if I tried to fight Doug, I would have had to go through Brenda and Scientology, and I wouldn't have won. There was no way. And Michael certainly wasn't going to help me. Did he give you red flags when he was around other kids? Were there children in his dental practice? I never got red flags when he was around other kids. No, that's why I'm saying there's a chance it was nothing. But I think it's just the fact that I don't know. And I think it's just the fact that like that's it. He was so fucking secretive. Right? It's almost like how Jeff was with the Jester shit. Like I was like, I know. And he was like, no, you don't. You don't know anything that's going on. And I'm like, yeah, I do. It's the same thing here. It's like he was so secretive with my kid. I'd be like, I think I'm going to take him this Saturday. And he'd be like, oh, no, sorry. We have plans. And I'd call and be like, is he in bed? And he'd be like, yeah. I got it. I know what to do. I know what to do. Thanks. Bye. Like I couldn't carry him around as an infant. I couldn't take him anywhere. I couldn't do anything. It was so like, yes, manipulative, yes, controlling, but there was like secrets behind that. Does that make sense to you? It was like, there was like these unspoken secrets, like the unknown. I didn't know. When you take him from me, all I can do is guess on what the fuck these guys are doing all weekend long from Friday through Sunday. I'm like, I don't know what they're doing. And I'm not let in on what they're doing. Right? Like half the time he wouldn't even answer the phone. But if I could get him to pick up, I'd be like, don't give him any sugar and he needs to be in bed by, and he'd be like, yeah. Like he would just dismiss me. And people would come up to me and go, "Your son is so sweet. He's so cute, but Doug wouldn't let me anywhere near him." And I'm like, that's the secret part of it that makes me so, Doug saying, all from the same home planet, me and Michael, Sam, and Huxley. That's secretive. And it's weird. It's excluding. And he that's what he did. He separated me from my son. That's what it is for me. It's like, yes, Bella, that's what it is for me. Does that make sense? That's like, I feel like Liz Trix says, right, when she thinks of my mind, it's always like dropping a marble in and I have to do this and this, and I have to like really, really, really dissect it. And then it goes, finally. I feel like that's what it is. Do you feel mad about him taking over like that? Of course I do. Thank you, Bella. That's it. Yeah, he isolated both of us. Well, is that true? He isolated Huxley and he made the whole thing a mystery. Hey, Art of the Personal Story, you have a different name today. He isolated I hate it. I can't even say it. I'm so angry that like I feel like he put this wall between us. And I couldn't hear what was going on the other side. I couldn't see what was going on. Like it was a mystery. He made it that way on purpose. Like it was all this smoke and mirrors shit of like, I had to keep guessing. Yeah, Martin, exactly. I had to keep guessing because I couldn't ask questions. And excuse my language, but fucking Brenda. Bella, it's been a few months now. Fucking Brenda made it harder because she justified everything. I'd go to Brenda for answers and she'd be like, I don't know what you mean. He slept with our boys till they were 12. What's wrong with that? Like, are you out of your mind? You're so brainwashed, or you're just playing dumb. Either way, you're an accomplice. Hey, Alana. Good for you, Alana. I never saw Rosemary's Baby Lady-O, but that's what it is for me. It's like I kept having to like claw my way into like just finding out basic, simple, daily things that were going on with my own kid. And he made it so hard for me. And he shamed me for wanting to know things. Does that make sense to you guys? This is good because I feel like it's like it's coming up to the surface for me. Whatever it is, I feel it coming out. That's what it is. I feel like the second I had him, and I mean the minute I met him, the third day in the NICU, Doug popped in an hour after I was holding my child for the first time and stole him out of my arms. And it just never went away. It never went away. I went home, our first night at home. Doug came and spent the night, stole him away from me. My first night with my infant baby, I didn't get to bond with him. I didn't get to rock him, nothing. I didn't even get to go into his nursery because Doug was in there. Like, that's what it is. He just took over. It was this like force and he just took over and he never stopped. And it got more and bigger and bigger and he got more intimidating. And the more I tried to fight back, the more he was like, not today, girl. That's my child. Like, and I just felt myself I just was shrinking. I'd go to Brenda and she was like, we don't upset Doug. He makes the money. He's the family producer and he's in charge of our spiritual freedom and he pays your bills. Does he not? Don't upset Doug. And then I'd go to Michael and I'd be like, your dad is a fucking psychopath. He took over our kid. We don't even have any rights to our kid. And he'd be like, well, we get to swipe his credit card. Like, it was like this weird fear show. It was like this fear. Like everybody was like, don't rock the Doug boat. And I was like, what? He took my kid and he never gave him back. That's what it is. That's what it is. And he made it such a mystery. Like my mom would come to town to see him. My mom would fly into town and Doug would come take him with my mom there who came to see Huxley. And she'd be like, why do you let him do that? He would, guys, my mother, listen to what I'm about to say. My mom would buy toys and gifts, and she'd get all this shit and bring it with her, and she'd be so excited. My mom was in love with Huxley, and she'd be so excited to come see him. Okay. And she would bring all this stuff. Doug would come to her house in Kansas City. They had a house there that was really close to mine, and she'd come stay there. And Doug would come get Huxley from her house and the toys. He would take the toys that my mother brought in her suitcase from Tennessee to Kansas City, take him away from me and my mom, who came to see him, and the toys. And my mom would lose her shit, not on Doug, but she did on me. She'd be like, why do you allow him? Like, this is your child. It was crazy. It is. It's diabolical. It was crazy. He did it every time she'd come to town. He'd take the toys. He did it with Christmas morning every year. He'd come get Huxley on Christmas morning. I'd stay up all night wrapping gifts, and he'd come Christmas morning. He'd back in his blue GMC Envoy, and he'd take all the gifts that I bought for Huxley, and he'd take Huxley. Why did I allow him to do that? Because I don't know if you watched yesterday's stream. It's kind of hard to answer that in one sentence, but Doug was absolutely in control financially, and he was psychotic. If you stood up to him, he would become psychotic. And you had no allies. Scientology was with Doug. Brenda was with Doug. And Michael was on Doug's side. I was the only person that was like, no. And he'd be like, yes. He was paying most of our bills. He had taken over. It was insidious as shit. It is. It's crazy, honey Lou. He couldn't have anyone else associated for Huxley as fun. He overwhelmed and manipulated the whole thing. He did. And I'm not trying to sit here and go like, poor me, I couldn't do anything. I tried in the beginning, guys. I still had a spark left in me. Those two did not. I tried. He bought all of us, Barbara Waite. He bought all of us. He started out when Huxley was born. He came to me and he was like, I make all this money. He was like, what can I do? He was like, let me help you. If I don't give it to my kids, who should I give it to? Of course, Scientology. He came to me and he was like, I know that you're the breadwinner. I was making way more money than Michael because I was working for physicians and Michael was a cashier. And so I was carrying the load, and he was like, how can I help you? Let me help you financially. It's like Scientology. Scientology doesn't dump everything on a brand new person that walks in the door. It's little by little, right? Do this tiny little $50 course. And then eventually over time, you're 300 grand in debt and you're on OT7. Like, it's not immediate. And that's how it worked with Doug. It was not immediate, but it slowly happened to where he slowly got control, full control. And then when I went to his wife, love you, Erica, she was like, we don't upset Doug. And I was like, oh, okay. So I have nobody, like, no one's going to stand up for this except me. I'm going to say something harsh. Your mom doesn't get to say, I guess that is what happens when you let Doug raise him, when she let your dad raise you. She, of all people, should understand. Alana, I don't go there, but I understand what you're saying. I don't go there because I can't go there. There's nothing I can do about it if I go there. So I don't go there. I keep that shit to myself. But I understand your point of view. Yeah, your mom would know that you couldn't fight back. She was forced out by Gene. It's not that simple. Insidious and pervasive. Yes. Yes. And yeah, Tara, his wife. So like, that's why I can't find, I'm sorry. I keep looking for a place where I can feel sorry for Brenda. I can't. I don't. You were mentally and emotionally damaged from your upbringing. Well, here's one thing for sure. I tried for a little bit and then I stopped. She's right. I was absolutely verbally abused big time by my dad as a child, and going up against a male entity already is scary for me in life. I am frightened by big masculine characters. I love men. I think they're fantastic, but like the men who use it for bad, who use their masculinity to frighten women, and a lot of them in my life have done that, scares the shit out of me and I back down pretty quickly. I don't like I don't go up against it. I just go, "Okay, okay. You win." Like that's my thing because I from a young age my father was that way. He was very overpowering and very intimidating and scary. It's yeah, Jeff was like that big time. Jeff used that a lot on me. Um, Buffy, I don't know the answer to that. Scientology trains their followers to be predators. I don't know, Nancy, if they train them to be, because I don't consider myself a predator. But I do believe that Scientology attracts like narcissist type people. I think there's really good people in Scientology. There's people that are not like Doug and Brenda that I've met that I don't feel like were super destructive and weird. They were weird because they were Scientologists. But what I'm saying is not every Scientologist is a predator and all of those things. Hey, Darius, but I think that if you join Scientology and you're already aggressive and ugly toward people, it enhances the shit out of that. It's a safe space for you to amplify that. I love you too, Hope Between the Dreams. They're going to nurture that, right? Like they're going to make it bigger. Doug took over Huxley and worked his way into taking over your life. Yes. Jeff worked his way into taking over your life. Scientology does the same thing too. So true. And so I felt and I feel, even in this moment, I feel defeated. I feel defeat easily. Now I am getting better and better at strengthening my core, like not giving up so easily, not feeling that self-doubt. But I am susceptible to defeat for sure. Like just that giving up feeling of like, you win, I lose. I accept. The frog in the boiling water, it won't jump out if you don't turn it up all at once. But if you slowly turn up the heat, it won't notice until it's too late. Yes, Martin, I have heard that. Kay Thompson, you were in a manipulative, mind-controlled, soul-sucking, lost position with nowhere to turn. No one can judge unless they've walked your walk. You bear your soul with us because it helps. Kay, thank you for saying that. It's very true. And the people that need to hear it will. The people that want to attack it will. And I heard that Johnny Cash song again the other day. For those that are filthy, let him be filthy still. For those who are righteous, let him be righteous still. I love that. Like, let people do whatever the fuck they're going to do, right? I still come out here and I still talk my feelings and I'm still going to work through it, even though there are vicious predators, haters, and sharks smelling the blood in the water right now. When I do a stream like this, I'm bleeding. I am bleeding out when I do streams like this. It sucks the life out of me. I finish a stream like this and I'm dead to the world. Typically, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and I just want to shut my eyes. I don't want to talk to anybody when I do streams like this. Not every stream, but like these kinds of streams take a lot out of me. You think that predators and sharks aren't around right now smelling this shit, getting ready to pounce and leave evil, horrendous comments after the live because they're too much of a coward to do it here because they know that the crowd will eat them alive and the mods will take care of it. Yeah. We can't change anything that happened in the past, but we still want to know what and why it happened. Yes. And Kay Thompson, that was a very nice comment. And I do it anyway. I do it anyway. I'm not afraid of those people. You know what? You know what hurts me and makes me feel scared and fearful and small? People who affected me like Doug. Those are the people that hurt me. Real people that affected my life are the people that hurt me. Some weirdo ass predatorial hater that I've never met will never make a dent because I don't know them and they don't know me. I'm not afraid of someone that I don't know. I feel fearful of things I went through and had a huge impact on me like Doug. Doug scares me, right? For good reason. These dumbass little trolls don't scare me. I don't give a shit about that. What did Fred think of your dynamic with Doug? Fred didn't know a lot of this. I didn't tell him a lot of it. He thought it was weird that he took Huxley all the time. He definitely thought that was weird. Thank you, Shelly Kelly. Baby steps, please. If talking through with Tommy and us isn't enough, please take the time and money to see your therapist. For sure. Oh, I definitely will do that. Baby steps. I'm of sound mind enough at this point on who to turn to next. Yeah, I'm not going to sit and sulk and not do well and start to feel more and more defeated. I will do something about it if I can't pull myself out of it. And typically I can pull myself out of it. But thank you for pointing that out. And that goes for anyone. That's good advice for anybody. Thank you. Thank you, Baby Steps, for the super chat. Thank you, Martin. Reese, do you think that maybe with all your healing, you're starting to realize how much you were affected by your, oh my God, yes. 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 For sure, Jan. I think I cast this shit off as like, I'm okay. It's happened to the best of us. You keep rolling with the punches. Everybody's been through something. Like, I think yeah. I think the more time that passes, the more I start to feel it. And I think coming out of the Scientology gates, I felt nothing. I was like, wow, it was like a drug. It was like when I took my first hit of meth, I was like, oh my God, I feel amazing. Well, as the years went by and my eye sockets were sunk in and I had scabs all over me and I was super unhealthy, I woke up one day and went, this is killing me. This is going to kill me if I don't do something about it. It's the same thing. It's like Benjamin buttoning it. It works in reverse order. I thought I was fine because I was trained to feel nothing. And then the feelings after year started to really weigh on me. And I started to unpack the real emotions and the real trauma and the real abuse that happened. And I had to actually look at it. And I was like, oh shit, I'm not healed. In fact, I'm actually like really, really broken. And we got to figure this out. You can't just skate across it on the surface. You got to go beneath the surface. And lucky for me, I can do that publicly. And I heal from it doing it that way. Some people don't. Some people would never want to do it that way, but it helps me to do it that way. It's a verbal journal and I hold myself accountable and I come on here and I'm honest with you guys and I'm open. And I realize that that's going to bring like-minded people who get inspired by that, but it also brings hateful people who feed on that kind of a thing. They can't create content of their own. So of course they're going to feed on something like this and make fun of it and pick at it and use my name and my picture, right? But yeah, Jan, no question. I believe you're not only grieving for your motherhood with Huxley, but also for Reese, the little girl. No question. You're spot on there, Jan. Good observations. Getting outed and declared gave you Hux back. Shelly Kelly, 100%. And I've been working on our relationship since, but it hasn't been easy. You know, you have to think about that. And thank you for your super chat. That's another thing. That's a whole other thing right there. No, Martin, I agree. That's another whole thing of like building blocks of years of trying to get to know my kid. Because honestly, Doug knew him the best. Doug spent every holiday with him. Doug stole my child. It's almost as if Huxley was abducted for 13 years and I got him back. And it's taken some time to kind of unpack that and be like, hey, we have weekends together now. Do you want to go get something to eat? Like, it's been awkward for both of us sometimes because I'm like, what do you like to do? I don't know. I'm like, it's a boy and I'm a girl and it's weird. And I'm embarrassed to admit that, but that has also been the case for me. Not as much now, but in the beginning it was. I was like, I've never spent a weekend with you your entire life. The sky's the limit. Do you want to go get some Mexican food? Like, I can't equal up to what Doug did too. Doug was loaded. Financially, he was loaded. I'm not. He took Huxley every day of every weekend somewhere. I told you guys they went to Sea Life Aquarium. They went to the zoo. They went to Legoland. They rode the streetcar. That's the name of the thing. He'd take him to stores and buy him stuff. I can't do all that, but I don't need to do all that. That's not what parenting is anyway. Parenting is being there. Parenting is what you guys do with me. Not everybody in here is super chatting me and buying me stuff and Venmoing me and buying memberships, right? Some of you have never done that once, but you sit here with me and you do what's most important. You listen and you spend your time with me, right? That's also important. Spending time with him is what I want to do. taking interest in what he's interested in, knowing what he's interested in, having real conversations. But hey, Original Ann, I titled this stream because of what you said last night after I ended the stream, giving it a name. It was beautiful. That's what's important anyway. And I'm aware of that, but still, it's been a weird adjustment. It's been a weird adjustment. Reminder, baby steps will get you there. That's true. Baby steps. She's right. And thank you for your super chat. She said that yesterday, and it's so true. All of it. Yeah, it's true, Heather. She says all of it meant nothing. She's right. All of those stupid gifts and toys and all of that stupid shit of him trying to buy, and it worked. You can take any kid, take a 4-year-old up to a 13-year-old, take him or her every weekend and party. Take them to Showbiz Pizza and aquariums and zoos and buy their little hearts out. Who's their favorite person going to be? You. I didn't hold a candle to him. Brenda didn't hold a candle to him. We all fucking knew it. Doug bought him everything. He bought him off. He bought me off. He was paying all my bills, helping me out. Right? But I'll tell you, when it was all over and things did start to go to shit and Michael and I got divorced, and when I went to sell my house, Brenda brought it up to me and she was like, Doug's been helping you with your bills all these years. Like, we've helped you with thousands of dollars. Like, she really tried to hold that over my head. And I was like, and you two came up to me when I was pregnant and said, we have all this money. What would we do if we're not going to help our kids? Let us write you a check. That's how it went down. I didn't go to them and say, hey, I need help. I would never do that. You see me asking for financial help here? No chance. And you'll never see it. I don't do that. That is not something I would do. So magically and conveniently, she was like, we helped you. I love that. It's like someone who loves me today and hates me on here tomorrow and goes, I gave you a $20 super chat back in April. I don't like it anymore and I want it back. That's not how that works. You guys gifted money to me for 10 years and then decided we've been giving you money. Like, yeah, you've been controlling me all this time. Does Huxley need to give all of his toys back that he bought for him too? What about all those memberships to Sea Life Aquarium and Legoland? Should I cut you a check for that? Get out of here. You cannot pay for things and then go, I'm taking this away and you owe me money for it. I never asked for any of that help, and I don't feel bad about any of it. That's the best thing Doug could have done, because money doesn't buy anything. I can't get the time back. I can't make up the damage for what he did. That's a fucking joke. Did they want the money from the house being sold? Oh, yeah. She brought it up to me. She didn't come out and say it. I'm trying to think what she said. This was kind of like Michael got a check. I told you guys this the other day. Michael got a check from his grandparents who passed away for college. I had no idea that money was coming. Brenda showed up at my house the day we got the check. She had Sam sign over his check to the Church of Scientology, and she came for the check at my house. And she said, I want you to have Michael sign it over so we can put the money on his account. And I said, it's for college. His grandparents left him that for college, and it's to him, not me, not you. And she was like, right, but we don't want anyone to go to college. She was like, so can you have him sign it over? And I was like, I'm not having him do anything. Are you out of your fucking mind? No. She was pissed about it. She had to leave Post to go ask me for that money. The org sent her to get it because they wanted it Thursday before 2. Oh, yeah, they're money hungry people. They want your money. And so when I sold my house, yeah, she sure shamed me about it. She was like, we helped pay for that house. And I was like, I don't give a shit. I bought it. It's my house. You also took my child. Can you write me a check for that? You can't, because you can't pay for that time that I lost. So I'd like to say that's a wash. Quid pro quo, ghostwriter. Fuck yourself. You're not getting any of that money. Yeah, she definitely implied it. And she was like, Doug really helped you guys out. And I was like, Doug also took my kid. Like, I don't know my son that well. So I feel like this was a bit of a wash, and I still feel like I got the shit end of the deal. I would hand all that money back if I could get that time back. Money means nothing to me. I grew up with a very, very, very wealthy father who threw cash around, left cash on the table for me as a child like a hooker. I don't get excited about money. I worry about money. I worry about making everything work as a single mom. How am I going to pay these bills? But I ain't excited about, I'm not money motivated. I'm not sleazy like that. It doesn't do it for me. I would have much rather had my kid that he stole. Yeah, Lumen, thank you, Anne. How can they possibly control you with money if they let you have any money? How can they possibly control you with money if they let you have any money? I don't understand what that means. I would have been okay for sure with having your baby by yourself with no money. I would have made that work. I was making decent money. I would have made it work. I make it work now. Our health insurance is going up double next year. You think that I clock in here? Like, that's not how that works. I got to pay for everything. I'm not getting help for that. I would have made it work. I'm pretty self sufficient. I'm scrappy like that. I can make it work. Did Michael end up? No, Michael did not sign that check over. He did not. He kept that money. And I hope that, Mike Huxley told me this over the summer. This was last summer, and I haven't heard anything since. Hey, Rachel, but he told Huxley, and Huxley told me that he is intending to take some college classes. Now, he'd have to get a GED, but I hope he does. Maybe he's doing that. I have no idea. Thank you for being so open and honest with yourself and us. I'm going to pop over to see Johnny, and if he ends before I'll be back. I will be ending here shortly, Joan, but thank you for being here. Yeah, money is boring. Money is not impressive. People who have money are not impressive to me. I'm more interested in your character. That's really all I'm interested in. Like, how do you treat people? How do you make me feel? Do you make me feel safe? What kind of an impression do you make on me? Do you think I give a shit that you drive a nice car? Like, that's Scientologists are rich. Most of them are really, really rich. I've been around a lot of privilege and money. I'd rather be around normal people. I wish that my whole life would have been different. Money didn't change a thing. Joy and Holly, do you think if Hux was with Doug when you got outed, he would try to keep him? Like the day of? No. Doug had no parental rights, no legal rights as a grandparent in Missouri. I made sure of that. No, he knows that he would have been hit up for kidnapping. No, if that's what you mean. Thank you for your super chat, babe. Yeah, I've only wanted enough money to pay my bills and have a little left over. Never dreamed of being wealthy. I definitely like being able to make ends meet and have money left over. Like, that's a much better feeling than how am I going to pay this bill? That's a scary feeling. We've all experienced that. Everybody's been there where I'm like, I'm going to have to cut back on groceries with this because I can't pay this. We've all been there. That sucks. Nobody likes living like that. But yeah, I agree with you. Having some money left over to have that cushion is always a good feeling. Yeah, it just doesn't equate to anything. It's funny how people are about money. People are so weird about money. Like, it's supposed to make someone a better person. It's supposed to be like impressive that you have a cool house or car or travel all the time or whatever it is. Like, I've never admired that. It's kind of almost when they get more and more showy about it, the more red flags there are. Money talks, wealth whispers. If you have to show me that you have money and you're rich, most likely you're in debt up to your ears. Most likely you're in so much credit card debt and you're making all kinds of payments, because people who are really truly wealthy don't have to prove it. They don't need you to know it. They don't care who knows it. It's the same thing as Christians. I'm a Christian. Okay, well, you're probably not then. If you have to say that, if you need me to know it, that's a status symbol. Like, why do you need to tell me that? It's the same thing. I'm rich. Really? I doubt it. I'd like to see your financial statements because you're probably in debt like crazy, right? I'd rather be poor and not in debt, right? Not have a bunch of debt. What I was saying is that it was a design that Doug needed to make people feel in debt so he can control the. Yes, for sure, Heather. No question. No question. But don't come to me and go, let us help you. And then 10 years down the road, be like, we helped you. Correct. It was a trade off. You took my kid. Don't try to make me feel bad about it now. That's not going to fly. I don't feel guilty about money with Doug. That's the last thing. I feel guilty that I didn't take my kid back. That's what's paining me. That's what keeps me up at night. Not that I owe Doug money, because I don't. That's the last thing I would ever think about. I keep feeling like an energy. Doug is just a guy from the past. There's some kind of energy that you need to deal with. I agree with that. I agree with that. And I think we're getting to the bottom of it. I think doing another show about it tonight helped Martin. But I definitely feel the same way. It's like this energy like looming over me. It's like a dark, but I agree with what Liz and Baby Steps said. To a degree, I think it's a little bit, I think there's all kinds of things going on around us that we don't know about. Like Liz called it spiritual warfare. I think that there is truly good and evil. I think there has to be both, right? And so I do feel like sometimes I start doing really well and something comes along trying to knock me off that path. There's a reason right now that I'm going through all these motions of self-doubt. What is that about? After all the climbing out of this pit that I've done, after all the work and honesty and openness, why am I suddenly like crawling into a shell going, I don't want to be around people. I'm scared. I'm wrong. I'm a loser. I'm not going to win. I'm broke. I'm not going to why? Why all of a sudden am I like not using my voice in my head? I mean, is this also coming up for you now because Huxley turned 16 and maybe you're thinking soon he'll be out the door and those missed time? Not Darius. You make a great point, but I don't think so. That's not where my mind goes when you say that. It doesn't indicate for me. No, if anything, I'm the opposite of that. I feel like I'm lucky that I've had him these last few years and I've gotten him to myself. Nobody else has really experienced him. I'm making up for lost time. So I don't feel like that window's closing though. Like, I don't feel like, oh God, he's going to be 18. And then no, you know who I feel bad for? Michael. I said that to Michael on the phone Saturday when I talked to him. I said, he's going to be an adult soon and you will not have known him. And I don't know how that weighs on your conscience. I'll let it lie where it lies. But like, I've at least been in it. I haven't abandoned him. I didn't say that to him, but that's how I look at it. Doug left. Michael's not here. Like, I'm in it to win it, right? Like, I'm spending all this time with him. I'm paying all the bills. I'm taking care of him. I feel like I'm making up for lost time for sure. But will he eventually feel bad when Huxley's 20, 21, 22, 30, that like looking back, you didn't really participate in his life? I don't know. But no, I don't think so. Doug is like final boss and Jeff and your father is like smaller challenges to overcome. Yes, Doug takes up more space. Yeah, I would have said, when you give me back the time you took from me with Huxley, I will give you back the money. Yeah. That's when you'll be attacked the most, when we work toward God. I believe it's Hux's birthday that made you face your past with him with new eyes. Remembering that doubt in yourself that you had at his birth. Yes, that's where yes, Heather, you're absolutely right. You need to reaffirm your strength and commitment to it. And that's usually isn't easy fun. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great point, Sophia. Even Mel Robbins self-doubts. We all do it. Our brain is full with unanswered questions. Yes. It's just coming. It's all coming in at once, Yadira. And it's weird. It's unusual. It's a little, feels almost planned. I know that sounds crazy, but it almost feels that way. But planned how? Like self-sabotage? Am I planning to sabotage myself? He's a psychopath. He's not. Someone said that to me today, that he was a psychopath. He's not human. It's not human. Do you guys agree? Do you think he's a psychopath? I never know the difference between psychopath and sociopath. You're angry with Doug, but holding the hot coal yourself. Yeah, Sam. When I started getting healthy, it was uncomfortable since it was not what I was used to being. That's such a good point, Sue Herman. Love you, baby steps. Thank you. And I will. Same parallel with your mom. She missed all the time. Huxley always had you in his corner. Yes. That Dowd is such an unfair monster. He definitely has issues. Well, Kim is blue. I think that he is evil. I don't think he has issues. Michael has issues. I have issues. I think that guy is evil to the core. And I think he's smart. I don't think he's stupid at all. I think he was able to manipulate many, many people at once. And to me, that's not an idiot. That's a smart person. When you can smoke and mirror many people, that's he was smart. He was an evil genius. Feel like Doug is a symbol in your mind for ultimate control over your heart. I feel like Hux represents your heart somehow, symbolic. Yeah, that's pretty cool, Martin. Reese, look into the camera and give us your best. Doug, come get some. I can't. I'm too afraid of him. He's definitely evil to the core doing that to a new mom. Yes, so true, Sam. So true. Sociopaths. Joyce is still here. Sociopaths. Ooh, great picture. Oh, that's Jayers. Never mind. I thought that was Joyce Drager. Sociopaths know what they're doing. Psychopaths don't. Their brains are wired differently. So then he'd be a sociopath, wouldn't he? Totally. He's calculated, has his chess moves all planned out. Yes, Anne. Amy says he's a sociopath. Legitimately, that behavior is legitimately evil inherently by definition. Yes. Diabolical. I agree. Does it make you sad to think your mom may not feel the guilt you're feeling as a mom? Not anymore. No. JR. Okay. Thank you. No. I've what am I trying to say? Accepted it, learned to live with it, made my peace with it. I've made my peace with that. Sociopaths are typically erratic and impulsive, while psychopaths are more calculated and emotionally detached. Doug knew what he was doing, and he did what he did in order to get his way. He steamrolled anyone in his way, kind of like David Miscavige does. You are looking at past pains through healing eyes and heart. It's different as you grow. It hits different. Yes. That's pretty spot on, Debbie. Doug didn't do it to you. He deeply hurt Huxley by keeping him away from his mother. Well, that's the other thing. I thought about this. I remember all this stuff. He doesn't. He was an infant. He's not going to remember that he came into the NICU and pretended to be our family minister. He doesn't know any of that stuff. So it will be interesting at some point. How will this affect him? He'll have to unpack all this one day. It's not like he's not going to remember it. He was 13 when Doug left his life. He's going to have a lot of memories there. Hopefully they'll fade. Like, I'm grateful that he was 13 and not 19. But still, it was a weird point in life, and it will do some damage. It will have some residual effects, just like me. You can be a psychopath and sociopath at the same time. There literally is a difference, not the same. Okay, interesting. Talking in symbols, I feel like the question you need to answer is, what kind of symbol of power do you need now to not feel afraid of him? This is not something you answer fast. I was going to say, I'd have to think about that, Martin. I really don't even know if I understand the question. Some people don't believe in evil, so I don't know what they would call it, but that's what it is. I don't know how you don't believe in evil. If you believe in good, I believe in evil. I've met way too many evil people, and coming from Scientology, you'd have to be insane to not believe in evils. L. Ron Hubbard was the epitome of evil. He was pure, satanic, to his core evil. Doug knew he could throw money at you to get you to do what he wanted. He did that with a lot of people. Yeah. Yeah, that's true too, Sophia. But I think it was important to talk this through again. I may be okay tomorrow. I don't want to keep dragging this out on you guys either. Oh, Joe Virus. I don't want to, those who love money will never have enough. How meaningless to think that wealth brings true happiness. Old Testament. Thank you for that, Buffy. I saw a thing that said some people are so poor, all they have is money. It's just money makes people so weird. Money is such a weird thing. It changes people's character. It makes their personalities like they think they're tougher than they are. It brings out so many weird things. Now, there's also really good people do really good with money too. There's certain people like I think if you already have a dark ass personality and you come into money or you make money, it's gonna amplify that. But I think if you're a really good-hearted person and you have money, you're gonna continue to do good. That's seems simple to me. Farming enough with enough money, let's get you away with a lot of damage caused. Yes. Thank you, West Coast Fancy Nancy. Thank you for saying that. Tomorrow's what? Tomorrow's Friday. Okay. Fridays are weird to stream days. Do you want me to stream tomorrow? Should I come tomorrow afternoon? Sometimes people are really busy on Friday afternoons. I'd be happy to be here, but I just don't want to if everybody's busy. You know, it's the week before Thanksgiving. Yes, you are, Joe Virus. For sure you are. Tell you what, I'll do a stream. I'll do a stream for those that want to come. If you can't come, that's okay too. I get it. People have lives. Even though this channel is all about me. Get out of here, Heidi. Don't forget, it's the love of money. It's the greed, the want, the desire that comes with money. I love having money. I love having enough money to where I'm like, everything's paid. I'm good for the month. Like that's where my sweet spot is. If I can pay all my bills, I think everybody's the same way. Then I'm good. And then Huxley gives me a list of all of his protein crap that he wants at Costco. And I can go, I can buy this month. That's where I feel good about it. I freak out. I don't like not having enough money. I think all of us can agree with that. No one likes being broke to where you're like, how am I going to pay this? That's a scary ass feeling. That's a sucky feeling. I also want to prove to myself that I can make enough money to afford me, Huxley, and my pets and buy a house one day and move to Ecuador if I want to do that. Like I want to do it all on me. I don't want to rely on a man ever again. Ever again. I relied on Doug. I relied on Jeff. I relied on my father. I don't ever want to do that again. I want to always go to bed at night knowing I paid my life. I paid for my life. I've never done it before. It's a total game changer. And every month, I end every month going, I paid my bills. That is such a big deal to me. That is such a strength for me. And as a woman, as a feminine, like nobody did that for me. And it really means a lot. It really means a lot. I want to be self effing sufficient. If I could give advice to women, that's one of them. Do not rely on anybody. I've done it my whole life. And it's scary because what happens is you're basically cuffed. I might have relied on Jeff, but it was the scariest time of my life. He would take my car keys. Hey, no one. He would tell me what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. And I was cuffed to that. I had to. I was financially effed. I couldn't get out of that. I never want to be in a situation like that again where I rely on somebody in order to live my life and make the wheels turn. I want to be self-sufficient always. And I think that's an amazing example for Huxley. I have to be honest, for anybody who has kids, I think it sets an incredible, one day I hope Huxley looks back and goes, she was a single mom and she paid for all my crazy protein stuff and all of that stuff. And she paid for our bills and we had 5 animals and she made it work. I admire every kid who says, I was raised by a single mom. There is so much admiration I have for single mothers and fathers. Old Charlie is a single dad. Makes no difference on the gender, but it makes a big difference when you're single and you don't have a second income. But I don't want a second income intentionally. I want to prove to myself, I can do this. I don't need a Jeff. I love Tommy, but I don't want to have to rely on him ever financially. I don't want to have to rely on anybody. I want to prove to myself that I can do that. It's very, very important to me at this point in my life. In my 40s, it's very important to me. Thank you, Rain. Single moms and dads are very impressive to me. She had to rely on alimony and child support to make ends meet. It didn't always come. Yeah, I refused to ask for support in my divorce. I supported myself and my kids. Yeah, and here's the thing, like, Michael doesn't make a lot of money. So, like, he has no idea. I thought about this when I had this conversation with him the other day. Michael has no idea what it costs to have a kid. No idea. Think about it. He's never had to, right? Like he's never had to pay the bills for Huxley to make ends meet. So, it's not even realistic for him. When I married Jeff, he didn't even understand this. He called me when I married Jeff and he said, "So I can stop paying child support now, right?" And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "I don't have to pay child support anymore because you got married." And I was like, "You absolutely still have, it's your child." I was like, "I don't understand." He was like, "Yeah, but Jeff makes enough money to have you guys under his roof. Why do I have to pay?" And I was like, and it's not like he was being mean. He didn't understand. And he pays $350 a month to me. It's nothing. That's like covers school lunches. There's not much to that. Like he doesn't understand that I pay over $1,000 a month for our health insurance. Like his phone is $112 a month. Like it's not even like realistic to him how much it costs. And I said that to him on Saturday. I said, "Be thankful we didn't have more than one, dude. Like I appreciate your 350 a month, but like it doesn't even make a dent. Kids are not cheap." Like he has no reality on what it takes. And so again, I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I'm the one that's the sole person doing that. And I applaud anybody who does that. Being a single parent is hard and it costs a lot of money, but I don't ever want to be in any other boat ever again. I mean that. I want to always, always rely on me financially. I don't ever want to be like, "Let's get married so you can pay for everything." I'll never do that again. Um, Tara, how did Doug take it when you guys got divorced? Well, we had to not tell Doug we got divorced for a year. Brenda didn't let us tell Doug for a year. After a year that we had been divorced, you couldn't tell Doug any kind of bad news. So he couldn't know. And then when she finally told him, he said nothing to us about it. He was angry, but he said nothing. It's strange, but Michael doesn't understand how the world works, guys. He came from a cult. He didn't even go to school. I don't hold that against him. He doesn't understand how things work. He just doesn't. Nobody taught him. I was married to him for almost 10 years. Nobody taught him how to do anything. His parents were evil and they enabled him to, they liked him not knowing how to do anything, I believe. They never taught him how to do anything. When I bought my house and we got married, I was like, "Okay, so you're going to mow the lawn." I've never mowed a lawn. He was like, "I'm not mowing a lawn. I don't know how to mow a lawn." I was like, "We're married. Like, you need to mow the lawn, dude." Like, he was like, "No, I don't know how to do that." I was like, "Oh my God, his parents didn't, all that not going to school, you couldn't teach him how to mow a lawn because they paid for everything. They just paid for everything. They enabled him to just be an adult that didn't know how to do anything." Yeah, that's true. Original Ann says, "Even Doug doesn't know how the world works. He learned that everything revolves around him." And you have to understand that none of that's Michael's fault. That's not the kid's fault. I don't hold Michael accountable for any of this. I hold his parents accountable. They taught him nothing. You can't get mad at somebody for what they don't know. He doesn't know proper guidelines on how to be a parent or any of that. He wasn't parented. I wasn't either. It's a bizarre dynamic, guys. I'll tell you, it is a weird world. Coming out of Scientology is very strange. It's uncomfortable for those reasons because we don't know how to do shit. It's just weird. We have to learn a lot. I do too, Shelly Kelly. Speaking of Shelly Kelly, mods, thank you for being here. Again, hit subscribe. Kim is Blue. I may write a book one day. I just need to get the confidence to do something like that. But I would love to do that. Like I've always said, it's on a bucket list goal type of deal. Yeah, Michael is not to blame for that. He was coddled big time, Sophia. Before you leave, please hit subscribe. Again, talking about this stuff is important to me. Getting our voice out into the world about the dangers and the abuses of this. I love you, Kim is Blue. Is very important to me. Therefore, please hit subscribe. YouTube will unsubscribe you, and it's just important to me to get the word out. I hope you realize how incredibly invaluable it is that Hux worked at the farm each summer. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. He still does. He still does that. I love you guys. Thank you tonight for listening to me again. I'm sorry I had to get all this out again. Thank you, Glenda, but it just it needed to be talked about. It's just been like gnawing at me. I'm going to ask it a different way. It seems to me that there is an invisible rope tied between you and Doug. How do we cut it? Martin, you asked it the right way the first time. I don't know. I think it's something, Martin, that we'll have to work through in time because I always seem to figure things out in time. I feel better today than I did yesterday. That's a start. Thank you, Robin Miners. I do. Molly, welcome. And guys, thank you for the super chats. Thank you for being members. I really, really appreciate that. Huxley and I both do. Love you, Jessamine. And it means a lot. You sitting with me listening to this means a lot. It's very validating to give me your time because I know how valuable it is. So thank you for listening to me today. I really, really mean that. I deeply appreciate it. I will see everybody tomorrow afternoon. Whoever shows up, shows up. We'll do a show. And I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I mean it. Hit subscribe, and here comes Fred.